Your body shape determines 80% of how good you look in clothes. In this guide, for men 40 and over, I'll show you how to identify your type in 60 seconds, reveal what's making your outfits look sloppy, and give you the exact styles that transform your appearance. So let's start by understanding what you're working with. Because once you see your frame clearly, everything else falls into place. Style begins with recognition, not with limitations, but with awareness. The mirror is not a critic, it's a map. When you understand the lines and proportions of your frame, you stop leaving your appearance to chance and start shaping it with intention. There are 5 essential body shapes. Some men stand straight through the shoulders and waist, forming a clean rectangle. Others carry more weight through the midsection, giving the impression of a triangle. Some are broad in the shoulders and taper down to a narrow waist, the classic inverted triangle. Others hold fullness around the torso, creating an oval. And finally, there are trapezoids, broad at the top and balanced through the middle. These are not flaws, they are frameworks. And when you see your body as a framework rather than a problem, clothing becomes a tool for refinement. Take a moment. When you stand in front of the mirror, what strikes you first? Your shoulders, your waist, or the way your frame balances overall? That honest observation is the beginning of strategy. Once you recognize your shape, you gain the power to elevate it. Let's explore what that means for each frame, starting with the man whose proportions are already in balance. The rectangular frame is naturally balanced, but balance without definition can fade into the background. The solution is to introduce dimension. A structured blazer broadens your presence, and layering adds richness where flatness once lived. Patterns, stripes, checks, textured weaves bring energy without excess. Even the line of your trousers contributes. A subtle taper creates modernity, while anything too loose undermines your symmetry. When these choices combine, proportion becomes presence. For example, a navy sport coat layered over a light Oxford shirt with gray trousers instantly sharpens the frame. A subtle check or textured weave in the jacket creates dimension without overwhelming your natural symmetry. If your frame is naturally balanced, what could you add today to make it sharper, not just neater? Comment below if you think you're a rectangle. I'd love to know which shape you see yourself in. But not every man carries such balance. Some hold more weight through the midsection, shifting the frame into a triangle. For them, the strategy must change. Authority comes not from hiding, but from guiding the eye upward. A blazer with defined shoulders restores symmetry, while darker trousers anchor the silhouette. Vertical stripes or subtle shirt textures stretch the torso, pulling the eye where you want it. Small touches like a pocket square or a tie can redirect attention instantly. An easy outfit formula here is a charcoal blazer with defined shoulders, a pale blue dress shirt, and dark denim or wool trousers. The jacket builds shape at the top, while the darker lower half keeps the silhouette streamlined. When you dress for work or casual events, are you drawing the eye where you want it? If not, let your clothes take the lead. And then there are men with the opposite challenge. Shoulders that dominate the frame and taper sharply toward the waist. Their challenge is not presence, they already command it, but refinement. Heavy padding only exaggerates what is already there, so jackets should follow the natural line. Balance comes from the lower half. Straight or gently tapered trousers ground the silhouette, while patterns or lighter shades below draw the eye downward. Above the waist, restraint is elegance. Below the waist, variety is your ally. For a casual look, try a lightweight bomber jacket with tailored chinos. The jacket keeps your upper body from looking too bulky, while the chinos add visual weight to balance the frame. Even swapping in a patterned trouser can pull focus downward and create harmony. Others carry their strength differently, not in the shoulders, but in the center of the torso, giving the body a rounded, oval shape. For them, the secret lies in elongation. Every choice must draw the eye vertically. A jacket with a higher button stance lengthens the body. Peak lapels guide attention toward the face. Darker colors create continuous flow, while pinstripes and ties reinforce the line. Trousers worn slightly higher extend the legs, and layering with intention, a vest beneath a jacket or a long overcoat, stretches the frame visually. Done well, the oval shape transforms from bulk into stature. A strong outfit here might be a single-breasted navy suit with a slightly higher button stance, paired with a vertical striped shirt and dark leather loafers. It creates a long, continuous line and draws attention upward to the face. If you're an oval, which part of your wardrobe do you think needs the most upgrade? Your jackets, your trousers, or your shirts? Drop it in the comments. You might inspire another guy watching. Finally, we arrive at the frame many consider the most balanced, the trapezoid, where the goal shifts from correction to refinement. A blazer with natural shoulders and a gentle taper keeps the frame balanced while allowing movement. From there, texture and pattern become tools of quiet sophistication. A herringbone weave or a subtle check can bring depth without disturbing proportion. The line continues through trousers that sit at the natural waist, elongating the frame, and finishes with details that speak softly, but unmistakably. Polished shoes, a refined watch, an accessory chosen with intent. Picture a tweed blazer worn with cream chinos and suede brogues, an effortless combination that highlights natural balance while staying sophisticated. The trapezoid has freedom, but freedom only shines when exercised with discipline. Look at your current wardrobe. Is it working with your frame or against it? Stick with me, because now we move beyond shape. These are the principles that make any man look exceptional and turn style into second nature. Mastering your body type is powerful, but it's only the beginning. Once you've aligned your clothes with your shape, the next step is understanding the principles that make every man look exceptional, no matter his frame. While each shape has its strategy, certain truths never change. Fit reigns above all else. A modest jacket that follows your lines will always outshine a designer piece that doesn't. Quality outweighs quantity. A few exceptional garments simplify your life and elevate every choice you make. Colors create identity. A palette built around navy, charcoal, muted greens, or earthy tones ensures cohesion and prevents the confusion of mismatched pieces. Proportion is the silent architect of elegance. Every length, cut, and taper should echo your body's natural lines rather than fight them. And then there are the details. A collar that sits perfectly, trousers that break just at the shoe, leather that's polished, not tired. These are quiet declarations of standards. But the deepest principle lies not in fabric, but in perspective. When your clothing works with your body, the way you see yourself changes. The mirror no longer highlights flaws. It reveals potential. Posture improves, shoulders open, movement steadies. Confidence grows, not because someone else approves, but because you feel aligned with yourself. At this stage of life, chasing youth is unnecessary. Presence comes from calm assurance. Dressing well doesn't disguise who you are. It amplifies it. It reminds you that you're in control of the impression you leave behind. Ask yourself this: if you never again questioned whether you looked right, what energy could you redirect to the things that matter most? That is the psychological freedom that comes from style. And once your mindset is in place, the wardrobe itself becomes strategy. The cornerstone is a blazer, chosen with precision for your shape. That single garment teaches proportion, fit, and versatility. A navy blazer is the perfect place to start. It works with jeans for weekends, with gray flannels for business, and with chinos for dinner. Versatility and proportion training in one piece. From there, expand into trousers that work across settings, shirts that highlight your complexion, outerwear that completes your silhouette, Which piece in your wardrobe do you reach for most often? Your go-to blazer, your favorite pair of shoes, or something else? Let me know below. I might break down how to style those pieces in a future video. But think of clothing as a system rather than a collection of one-off purchases. When each piece complements the others, getting dressed becomes effortless. That is the essence of a capsule approach. Not minimalism for its own sake, but efficiency with sophistication. Shoes and accessories are punctuation marks, finishing the statement. A pair of brown cap-toe Oxfords can take you from office meetings to evening plans with ease, while dark loafers or clean white sneakers can keep your casual looks refined. A belt that defines the waist, and a watch that speaks to refinement without excess. These details transform function into elegance. Once the system is in place, the real artistry begins. The subtle refinements that distinguish a man who is simply well-dressed from one who is truly distinguished. Sophistication is found in subtleties. Texture mixing, the contrast of smooth wool with coarse tweed, suede against polished leather, creates interest without noise. Imagine charcoal wool trousers with a fine-gauge merino sweater and a suede field jacket. Each layer adds a different texture, giving depth without feeling busy. Seasonal adaptation keeps the principles alive year-round. Lighter fabrics in summer that preserve shape. Layered wool in winter that builds presence without bulk. Color temperature sharpens choices even further. Cooler complexions thrive in navy, gray, and white, while warmer tones excel in olive, tan, and cream. The right shade illuminates the face, as though adjusting the light in a portrait. Pattern scale matters as well. Oversized checks overwhelm a smaller frame, while micro patterns disappear on a larger one. Matching scale to build ensures balance. Over time, these refinements evolve into something more, a personal signature. Perhaps it's a color you return to, a fabric you favor, or an accessory that becomes unmistakably yours. That signature creates recognition, and recognition builds presence without a word. What do you think could become your personal signature? A color? A jacket style? Maybe a favorite watch? Think about it as we wrap this up. This is where everything comes together. Style has never been about chasing approval or imitating youth. It's about respect, expressed through clarity and choice. Your body shape isn't a limitation. It's the starting point. When you align your clothes with your frame, respect fit and proportion, and carry yourself with intention, you walk into every room with quiet authority. A man who respects himself doesn't need validation. His presence speaks for him. So ask yourself, what impression do you want to leave behind when you walk out of a room? Your transformation begins with the next choice you make. And if you're ready to take that next step, watch my guide on building a capsule wardrobe for men over 40. You'll discover how to create a collection that's versatile, elegant, and effortless. A wardrobe that makes looking sharp second nature and frees you to focus on everything else that matters. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes are you leaving behind first? Drop it in the comments. If this video helped you out, don't just hit like, give it a hype. It's a brand new YouTube feature that really helps smaller creators like me get discovered by more men over 40 who need these upgrades. And before you go, subscribe so you never have to second guess your style again. Your next style upgrade is waiting. Tap the screen and make it yours.